We just need the question.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty League in our new revamped studio, which more remodeling to come. So, with me as always is the stat man, Petey Cunningham, and the commish, Clyde Randall Waters. We're going to start this week off like we start every week off, with me making mistakes, and then looking at the matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
All right, last week's matchup of the week was the Unseen Academicals versus Mr. Clutch's fake football team. Statman, break it down for me.
Man, really thought this was going to be a really good matchup. Unseen Academicals was 2-0. Mr. Clutch was 2-0 coming into this one. This kind of separate, the elite teams from the not-so-elite teams, and one of these teams did not step up. Unseen Academicals came in with 94 points, 70% efficiency, had 2 0 players.
Oh,
You're fine with 1. 2 is too many, though.
Yeah, no, that's, you break the golden rule when you go with 2 0 players. Yeah, can we talk about tight end play for Unseen Academicals?
Let's talk about it.
There wasn't much this week.
No. Had 2 tight ends in the starting lineup. Had 2.9 points combined between those two. Yeah. But Jason Witten from Mr. Clutch only had 1.3 this week, but was still.
And that's after a really big week from Jason Witten.
I know he was the number 1 tight end coming into this week. He was not the number 1 tight end leaving this week, but that's okay. He's old. He can't do it every week anymore.
That's right.
Yeah, being old sucks.
Yeah, Mr. Clutch, though, looking strong here. Wasn't a high performer overall in the league this week, but good enough to take this matchup of the week down.
That's what good teams do. They get the win.
That's right. They win when they are in the spotlight in the primetime games. Congratulations, Mr. Clutch. Unseen Academicals, though, rough week. Went from, 2-0 to 2-2?
2-2 now.
Ooh.
All that progress just erased in 1 week.
Ooh. Well, fun matchup of the week. Any other matchups from this week are notable that we should talk about?
I'll point out there were a couple games that almost ended up as close shaves.
Ooh.
Our 2 highest scoring teams this week played each other. Convicted Llamas versus the Chili Slingers. Convicted Llamas walked away with a 2.7 point win.
Oh.
Almost.
Oh.
The Chili Slingers put up a fight there on Monday Night Football, but Dak Prescott just was not enough to get it done. 177 and 174 for those two. I mean, I think the Chili Slingers scored 40 more points than any other team. Still went 1-1 though. That hurts.
Ouch.
And then Wayne Enterprises versus Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff squeaked out the win. We had Zeke going against Cole Beasley on Monday Night Football. Beasley scored a measly one. I don't even know how many he scored. It was not very many. He scored 1.4 points. Zeke got that late touchdown. Pushed Wayne Enterprises over the edge. Really happy to get that win.
Definitely. And we talk about Wet Stuffing or Red Stuff, putting up 131 points this week. Big score for them. only 73% in their efficiency rating. Had they flipped that around, they probably could have been a score of around 179 points, which would have been a pretty dominant score for this week.
If they would have just flipped the starting quarterbacks, they had Cousins on the bench who put up 31.9.
Yep.
That would have easily made them 2-0 this week. It would have been
but I
me.
mean, who trusts Kirk Cousins?
He cost me a lot of money last year. That guy, guy's the worst.
Anyway, What Stuff on Your Red Stuff is really starting to figure out the Dynasty format and that type of league. And I'm pretty excited, not to spoil anything, but I think we may have an interview with him coming up here soon.
Oh,
Nice.
oh,
Yes.
Should be pointed out, the new dad went 2-0 this week.
oh yeah.
Congratulations, owner of the San Francisco 69ers.
That's right. Ben, the dad now. Whew.
That's
Yeah,
right.
we got a lot of dads in the league now.
We do.
We do. None of us.
No.
No.
That's why we're doing the show.
We have even more dad bods.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'll just throw out here now. Unfortunately, Ben is out on paternity leave this week, so he will not be presenting any of his, power rankings this
He
week.
almost missed the birth by going through the power rankings. It was close. It was
Almost.
close.
And he thought about coming in today. And then when he got home from the hospital, he realized how tired him and his wife and his newborn child were and decided it was a bad idea. So there is hope. He may end up being a great father.
I think he will be.
He's going to be good.
All right. So, great matchups. That was the first doubleheader week of the season. And I say we just do it now. Let's have a talk with owner of Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff.
I like it.
All right. Give me just a second here to bring him in. I forgot to turn on our audio. And we're back. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Let me see what I can do. Let's go ahead and someone talk about something while I try to figure this out.
All right.
Let's go ahead and move on to our awards. Let's start off with the Milk Dud of the Week. Statman, you're going to do a lot of this.
All right. I'll take it from here. Hershey Milk Dud of the Week this week. We just talked about him. Goes to Phil Rivers, quarterback for Wet Stuff on Your Red Stuff. 2.38 points. He just needed to get to 6 points, and he would have went 2-0 this week. There were a lot of contenders for this award, though. I mean, there were Beasley scored 1.3, I believe, 1.4. We had Michael Crabtree scored 1.7, Witten with 1.3. Cam Newton did not score well. Amari Cooper did not score well, so a lot of contenders for this one, but Phillip Rivers took it down. Next up, we got the Ram Pickup of the Week award.
Brought to you by Ram. They drive Rams because they sell them.
And this guy owns one,
I do. I love my Ram.
and he loves it.
Ram tough.
All right.
Kamish, do you want to give out this award?
Sure. Ram Pickup of the Week. This week goes out to Ben Watson. 10.2 points. Started by the Skyline Chili Slingers.
All right. We're going to go live, mid-awards,
Oh.
to our interview.
Oh, we finally got him in. Oh, man, these satellite calls, I tell you what.
Technology
All right.
these days.
3, 2, 1.
Hey,
Hey,
can you hear me? I
can hear you, but I can't see you.
Oh, you can't see me? But I can see you.
I can see everything, so let's just go with it.
Yeah, I can see you.
Cool, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the studio mic still on?
Oh man, that's great. That helps me a lot. All right, Kyle Crawford.
Hi.
Owner and operator of owner and operator of What Stuff on Your Red Stuff, the newest guy to the league.
Yes, sir.
man? How's it going? How you doing? Can you
I'm
hear me?
wonderful. How are you guys? I can hear you just wonderful. I can't see you, but
Great.
I can hear you.
All right. So, I've been wanting you to get into this league for a long time, and now you're finally here. So, tell me, what's it like finally getting to be a part of the big time, the major leagues, I should say? How'd you feel about coming into the league?
I
this
like
year?
it. It's been good. I like it. It's definitely a different type of league for me. I'm a big believer in the waiver wire, and this league, the waiver wire doesn't offer very much, being that the majority of the players are kept. So that's been a little bit of an adjustment for me. That's pretty much my bread and butter when it comes to fantasy football is a waiver wire. I kind of live and die by it. So it's been a little bit of adjustment, but I'll figure it out. I've been trying to make some trades with some people. Still trying to get used to the whole idea of the dynasty where these guys are going to be on my team forever.
Yeah. So, speaking of trades, I saw you did get a trade through this past week. You picked up, who was it, Chris Thompson? Is that right? So tell us what went into that
I've
trade.
been wanting to... Sorry, what'd you say?
Tell us what all went into that trade. How did that trade happen?
Well, Ben and I went back and forth. I'd say for every bit of 3 or 4 or 5 days. Ben's pretty relentless with his trade offers. So we went back and forth with that. And I guess after he made a trade to pick up the Gronk, in that trade he traded away Chris Thompson. And I believe it was Joel that picked him up. And I was able to trade away my first-round draft pick. So it worked out pretty well for me, I think. I'm pretty excited about him. He's a young guy. He's got 3 touchdowns, 3 games, so can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
No, I think that's a great pickup. And honestly, I think it's a good value just giving away a first-round pick to get him. From what I understand, Jay Gruden loves him over there. He's scared about wearing him out, so they're going to use him when they think it's appropriate, and anytime he's on the field, he seems to be a playmaker. That is a big pickup, I think.
Yeah, I think it's been good since he's definitely a receiving back, and being in a PPR league, I think it's definitely a good move for me. Especially I didn't have really Amir Abdul was pretty much my next best back. Good pickup for me. We'll see though. Right.
That's awesome. So you got a win this week. First win in the league. How'd that feel?
Yes, I did. Finally, it felt great. I would have loved to have been beaten the reigning champion of Wayne Enterprise, but I fell a little short. I made some rookie errors on the old lineup, but I got my first win against Brian Henley. I don't know if that's a really an achievement of such, being that much garbage, but I'll take a win. A win is a win.
That is true. Yeah, no, your team showed up big time this week, and you almost squeaked by a win against reigning champ Wayne Enterprises. So close. But that's got to feel good.
Yes, it was.
Get a slow start coming out strong here in week 3. So.
Yep, it felt good.
We got some time here. Do you want to throw out any smack talk to anybody in the league, any other teams? Maybe your brother or PD, anybody? You got one time here talking smack talk.
I got to be nice to me, besides Ben. They're being nice to me because I'm new in the league. But I got my big boy pants on. I'm ready to take some smack talk. I know my team isn't at maybe the high caliber of some other ones. I know Petey keeps referencing that now I'm in the big leagues, that I'm getting a dose of reality. So I won't reference any other leagues because we're talking about the BL. I think after maybe a season, maybe 2 seasons, I think the trophy coming to Old Running Fawn where I live at. It's coming here. So I'm ready to go. I'm excited. Once I figure out this whole dynasty thing, I think you guys are gonna be a little scared of me. I mean, I would be scared of me.
All right, that's awesome, man. So that's about all the time we have for an interview this week. Thanks so much for giving us your time. I'm super pumped you're part of the league. And, maybe that trophy makes its way over to your house, but most likely it won't. Anyway,
that's real nice.
Thanks for your time.
Real nice.
Thanks for your time, bud. We'll talk to you later.
All right, see you guys.
All right, and we're back. Great interview, the commish. Good job. Let's get right back into our awards of the week.
Ooh.
Next up, we got the whooping of the week, brought to you by Mike's Bodega. Commish, who's winning this one this week?
Ooh, this one goes out to the Skyline Chili Slingers versus the EBDBB&B. 113-point win. It was almost not a discount double up, but a discount triple up!
Almost a triple up.
It's like
So close.
triple stack burger from Wendy's kind of thing. It was such a crazy pounding this week. We even put up an ode to the Skyline Chili Slingers.
That's right.
Back here in the studio.
Boom.
Had to represent. Even though they only win 1-1, they at least got this award.
Anyways.
All right, next up, we got the Resurrected Team of the Week, brought to you by Lazarus Department Stores. And this week, it is going out to the one and only Skyline Chili Slingers.
That's a lot of awards this week.
With a 71-point increase. That is how to improve your team.
This is awesome. I'm so pumped for the Chili Slingers. But do you think this is really a week of him changing, or is this a fluke week?
Statman, I got to go to you for this. This is the numbers thing. What do you think?
I think this team is for real. They went 1-1 this week. I believe they're 1-3 now on the year. But I think this team's got a lot of talent. I know there's some haters in Jordan Howard out there. I think Jordan Howard's the real deal. He's got Chris Hogan on this team. He's got half of the Green Bay Packers roster on this team. I really like their potential. When 1-1 this week ran into the convicted llamas, that train just keeps rolling on. But I really think this team will be in the playoffs, no doubt.
And so will the Bengals. What's the next award?
Next up, we're going to the Poopery Poo Poo Team of the Week. This one goes out to the team that stinks so bad, you just want to spray something on them and tell them to stop stinking. And this week, it's going out to who, Commish?
This goes out to EBDBB&B. Wah, wah, wah.
No surprise this one was coming. There was no surprises with this award.
So only putting up 61 points, which according to Statman here is the 11th lowest score in league history.
That's adjusted for punters, but that is correct.
Ooh, with the punter adjustment. Ooh.
All right. And last but not least is our surprise breakout player of the week, brought to you by Proactive. Let your players break out, not your face. And that's going to who? Statman, give me some math.
It's going to wide receiver Sterling Shepard. 26.3 points for the Cincinnati Bourbon Barons. Getting an award this week. You had multiple players that could have won this week. Sterling Shepard was the one that got it, though.
Very excited for his production.
Nice to see that.
All right, let's move into a new segment today. We're going to the College Player Update, brought to you by the Statman. Statman?
All right. We skipped this last week because we had Ben on. But we're bringing it back this week in EBDBB&B. I know your team's a little rough right now. Not looking good. Help is on the way, my friend. Player of the week this week is Saquon Barkley.
What?
211 rushing yards with 1 touchdown. 12 catches for 94 yards. Literally putting the team on his back in that matchup against Iowa. Penn State got that last-second touchdown pass to win the game, but Barkley, no doubt about it, proven he's the best player in college football in that game. Also, help is on the way for EBDBB&B. Got Myles Gaskin, who had 202 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. The commission zone, these are all honorable mention college players of the week. Josh Rosen with 480 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. He's really had a strong start to the year.
Yes.
Mark Walton for Mr. Clutch's fake football team with 204 rushing yards and a whopping 18.5 yards per carry in this one.
What?
That is a lot. He had 11 carries for 204 yards. Miles Gaskin, it took him, I believe, 27 carries.
11. Hold on. What?
He had 11. He carried the ball 11 times and he got 204 yards.
What?
Now, Statman, I know I've said it before. I'm not a mathematician, but that sounds like it was pretty good.
That is efficiency right there. We talk about efficiency for your team's lineups. That is efficiency.
Man.
Two other players, just throw a little shout out there. N'Keal Harry, 7 catches, 170 yards.
Is that how
and
you
a
say
touchdown.
his name?
I don't know. That's how
Is it N'Keal or is the N silent? That's just Keel.
or it's Keel. I don't know. That's just what I'm going with.
Why would they put the N there?
I've never heard anybody say his name, so I'm just assuming. I don't know, but him for Get Off Me. And then James Washington had 6 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown for the Scarlet Pimps. So, lots of big performances this week. EBDB and B could have used a couple of them.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in the future, this is why we do the college.
That's right.
Next up, let's move into this week's Mama Matchup.
Matchup of the week.
We got Get Off Me
Get off me.
versus the Skyline Chili Slingers. Commish, walk this one out for me.
Oh man. So both of these teams are 1-3. But for the Slingers, they're a perennial playoff contender. Whoever loses this matchup is going to have a true uphill battle to make the playoffs. So let's take a look and let's dig into what their lineup is going to look like. Statman, who's going to have best starting QB this week for this matchup?
The starting quarterback, got to go with Get Off Me in this one. He's going to have Russell Wilson going up against that Colts defense. Got to think that Russell Wilson should have he scored 40 last week. He was on his bench, though. I think he learned his lesson. He's got him in the starting lineup this week. I think Russell Wilson can easily have a 25, 30-point game.
Definitely. And let's see here. Jordan Howard for the Chili Slingers. I've heard you say already that you believe that he is the real deal. So far this year, it's been kind of a wishy-washy start for Howard. Is he really hitting his grind now and is going to be being that back for the Chili Slingers, or are we going to see some more regression this week?
I kind of worry about him this week. It's a Thursday night game. He's coming off 20-plus carries on Sunday. Just feel like last week, Gurley and Hyde had huge games on Thursday night. So, but I kind of worry about Howard going up against that Packers defense. Mixon and the Bengals running game didn't really do much last week. So, I don't think he can expect a 30-point effort from Howard. But I feel like 15 to 20 is very possible.
Definitely. And let's see here. What is the all-time matchup between these two teams? Does anybody know?
I believe it is dead even.
Dead even.
3-3. Tiebreaker coming up right here. This is the only time they'll play this year. So
This is for
3-3,
all the
all-time
cookies
series
in
record.
the cookie jar.
Man. But Get Off Me, they're moving and shaking. After week 1 was in panic mode. But they've made some moves.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up Devonta Parker this week in a trade.
scored 21 last week.
Yeah. We'll see how that pans out here. Anyways, that's the match. That's a preview of the matchup of the week going into week 4. Everyone should pay attention to that matchup because it has potential throughout the rest of the season to dictate playoffs and standings for everyone.
Oh man, it's gonna be big. So the real question is, who you gonna take? Statman?
Skyline Chili Slingers.
Commish?
I'm going to take... Where's it at? The Skyline Chili Slingers.
And I'm gonna be taking the Skyline Chili Slingers, which makes that a
Sweep.
All right, next up, let's go into our 2-minute drill. We got another doubleheader week, so we're going to plow through these things, something fierce. All right, we got Get Off Me versus the Pips. Statman.
Pimps.
Commish.
Pimps.
The Pips are going to bitch slap him. Oops. Next up, we got Bourbon Barons. That's a sweep. I swore. I apologize. I've never done that before in my life.
Look, there might be kids watching this show now. I mean, kids we got in this league.
Oh, man, that's going to cost us sponsors.
I heard Mike Bodega's pulling out.
Oh, Mike Bodega never pulls out, sir. They stick with it. Next up, we got the Bourbon Barons versus the Chili Slingers. Commish.
Oh, the Chili Slingers.
Chili Slingers.
Statman. I took the Barons.
Of course.
I always take myself. Wet Stuff on your red stuff versus the Convicted Llamas. Statman.
Llamas.
Commish.
Llamas.
I'm taking the Llamas too. That makes that one a sweep. Next up, we got Los Pandas Desnudo versus the EBDBBMB. Statman.
Los Pandas Desnudos.
Commish.
Los Pandas Desnudos.
Los Pandas Desnudos. El Suizo. Next, we got Mr. Clutch's Fake Football Team versus Wayne Enterprises. Commish.
I'm taking Wayne Enterprises.
Statman.
Mr. Clutch's Fake Football Team.
I'm taking Wayne Enterprises. Even though he doesn't believe in himself, I believe in him.
Thank you.
Next, we got the Unseen Academicals versus the San Francisco 69ers. And yes, that is still a sex joke, even though he's a father. Statman.
69ers.
Commish.
Niners.
I'm taking the Niners as well, and that makes this a sweep. Next up, we have Wet Stuff on your red stuff versus the Cincinnati Bourbon Barons. Commish.
Wet Stuff.
Statman.
Taking the water team.
I'm taking the Bourbon Barons. Bourbon is always better than water. Next up, we got the Convicted Llamas versus Los Pandas Desnudo. Commish.
Llamas.
Statman.
Llamas.
I'm taking the Llamas as well, and that makes this a sweep. Next up, we got Mr. Clutch's Fake Football Team versus the EBDBBMB. Do I even have to ask? Sweep for Mr. Clutch's Fake Football Team. Next up, we got Wayne Enterprises versus the San Francisco Niners. Statman, let's go with you first.
69ers.
Commish.
Niners.
I'm losing my belief in him since he doesn't believe in himself. I'm taking the Niners as well for a sweep. And last but not least, we got the Pimps versus the Unseen Academicals. Statman.
Pimps.
Commish.
Pimps.
I'm taking the Pimps as well for one last sweep. All right, and that was our 2-minute drill, which took a little bit more than 2 minutes this week because of the double headers, but that's okay. I don't got to live or die by the clock. I'm not a football player. I don't get a delay game. I don't get a...
You literally run this show.
I run this thing. I click the buttons. This show lasts as long as I want it to
Anyways.
last. Next up, we got the question of the week brought to you by the Commish.
So let's take a look at the question from last week, which was, did you agree with Ben's power rankings? I want to say this, I'm impressed because we had full participation from the league and the poll. You guys rock. However, majority of the league does not agree with Ben.
75% of the league.
9 people said no, 3 people said sure, why not? Anyways, there was another surprise poll midweek, and this question went out of, is a hot dog inside a bun a sandwich? Not everyone participated, but the league seems to be pretty evenly split at this current moment. 4 say yes, 4 say no, and 2 says whoever chooses no is wrong.
A hot dog is not a sandwich. It's a separate item.
It is.
I
yes.
believe if you...
If anything, it's a sub. But it's not a sub either.
Isn't a sub a sandwich? It's a sub sandwich.
A hot dog is not a sandwich.
No.
I don't consider a hamburger a
count.
sandwich.
I say look at the definition of a sandwich and decide for yourself.
I want separate pieces of bread to make up a sandwich, not a connected piece of bread. That's the difference.
Speaking of hot dogs, bread, sandwiches, I tried the new andouille sausage coney today at Skyline, and I thought it was delish.
Ooh.
Anyway, so...
Positive review.
So...
Skyline Chili not a sponsor, but wanted to be.
I had some ideas for some questions for the week this week, and I'm going off the cuff here. I'm bringing a new one in.
Oh, snap.
Here's my question of the week. We have 3 teams who are currently undefeated. We have the Convicted Llamas, Clutch's Fake Football Team, and the Niners. My question is, of the 3, which one do you think has the highest probability of going undefeated for the season?
Oh man, the drama.
Ooh, I like this.
All right, guys, get your votes in. Get your picks in for the pick'em. Set your lineups. It's a doubleheader week. And remember, be safe out there. It's a crazy world. Have a good night, guys.
And if you're hungry, eat something.